much, but we have to get into the card that the WNBA and NBC Sports pulled. They basically said, look, we're having a season with or without you players.
Stop everything you are doing right now. Turn off the television, close every other tab on your browser, silence your phone, and lock the door. Because we are not just covering a sports story today. We are witnessing what could be the most self-destructive, petty, and frankly disastrous business decision in professional sports history. If you thought the WNBA was done embarrassing itself after the Rookie of the Year controversy, the Olympic snub, or the officiating disaster, you were wrong. They just leveled up. We are receiving explosive reports, confirmed by multiple insiders, that the WNBA league office, led by Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, has officially issued a formal warning to Caitlin Clark regarding her historic partnership with NBC Universal. You heard that correctly? They didn't send her a fruit basket. They didn't send her a thank you note for elevating the league's visibility. They sent her a warning. A legal document telling her to watch her step, because her new job as a broadcaster for the NBA and the Olympics might constitute a conflict of interest. This is a turning point. To understand how serious this warning is, you have to look at the reality of the situation. Caitlin Clark is currently on a rookie contract that pays her roughly $76,000 a year. That is a 5-figure salary. In the world of professional sports, that is relatively modest. Yet the WNBA has the audacity, the unmitigated gall, to suggest that she should not pursue millions of dollars. Securing her future with NBC, they are trying to treat a player they pay like an intern, as if they own her outright, as if she were making $50 million a year like LeBron James. It is a level of entitlement that makes your blood boil. The league is effectively saying, you work for us first. NBC is your side hustle. When your side hustle pays 50 times more than your primary contract, it stops being a side hustle. Caitlin Clark doesn't simply play in the WNBA, she drives its visibility. She fuels ratings, attendance, and merchandise sales. Instead of rolling out the red carpet and celebrating her growth, critics argue the league appears to be trying to restrain it. Let's examine this so-called conflict of interest. The league is reportedly claiming that because NBC broadcasts the NBA, and because Clark will be promoting NBA coverage, could dilute her commitment to the WNBA. But promoting basketball helps basketball. If Caitlin Clark appears on television during major broadcasts, covering the Olympics or NBA games, that is national exposure. That is visibility you cannot buy. It is free marketing for the sport as a whole. Some believe the deeper issue may not be legal at all. It may be internal pressure. For months, there have been reports of tension within the league veterans who have spent years playing overseas, grinding through long seasons for modest pay. Now watching a 22-year-old rookie secure 8-figure deals and become a national media figure, emotions in that situation are understandable. There are also reported concerns from player leadership about fairness and commitment. Questions such as, if broadcasting obligations conflict with team responsibilities, how should that be handled? Is there a line between player and media personality? Still, the reality remains. Clark's impact is measurable. Ratings are up. Attendance is up. Merchandise sales are up. A new multi-billion-dollar media rights deal has been secured in this era of unprecedented visibility. If the WNBA believes it holds overwhelming leverage here, that assumption may be risky. Suspending her over outside media work would create significant backlash. Fans are deeply invested. Sponsors like Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm invest in star power. NBC Universal, owned by Comcast, is a global corporation with vast legal resources. This would not be a small dispute. Clark also has options. She could play overseas for far more money. She could pursue broadcasting full-time. She could build independent ventures. The power dynamics are complex. Beyond Clark, future stars are watching. Players like Juju Watkins and Paige Buchers are observing how the league handles its biggest draw. In today's sports economy, athletes are brands. Media roles and endorsements are not distractions. They are part of the modern career model. If this situation escalates, it will not just affect one player. It will shape the league's reputation for years to come. NBC did not sign Clark to sit quietly on the sidelines. They signed her because she moves the needle. And the WNBA must now decide how it wants to manage a superstar in the modern media age. What happens next could define the league's future. They signed her to be the face of their coverage. They have a plan. They have advertisements running. They have the Olympics coming up in Los Angeles. Do you really think NBC is going to let a niche league like the WNBA dictate its programming schedule? Absolutely not. This feels like a battle between Godzilla and a gecko. The WNBA is bringing a knife to a nuclear war. It's embarrassing. It suggests a serious lack of business judgment. That's why the word disgraceful is trending. Caitlin Clark's camp has remained relatively quiet publicly, but privately, sources say they are baffled. They are reportedly looking at this warning and asking, "Do you want us to leave?" Because that's the message this sends. It feels like the league is telling her, "You're too big for us. We can't handle you. We don't want you to succeed unless it's strictly on our terms." That is a dangerous game to play with a generational talent. Caitlin Clark has options. She could play in Europe for $5 million a year. She could help launch or join a new league, like Unrivaled. She could step away from basketball tomorrow and reportedly earn far more as a full-time broadcaster. The reality is, she has leverage. The larger concern is the message this sends to the next generation. Think about players like Juju, Watkins, and Paige Buchers. They are watching. They are observing how the league treats its biggest star. They are seeing the tension, the warnings, and the controversy. Why would future stars feel comfortable entering a league that appears to limit off-court opportunities? This situation isn't just about one player. It's about the league's long-term reputation. If players believe success will be met with resistance rather than support, that perception could have lasting consequences. The timing also raises questions. This warning reportedly surfaced just as excitement around Clark's NBC partnership was building. Instead of celebrating a WNBA star expanding her platform, the narrative shifted to conflict. Fans are exhausted by constant controversy. They want to watch basketball. They want to celebrate greatness. But instead, the focus has shifted to power struggles and internal disputes. So what happens next? Does Caitlin back down? Given her competitive nature, many doubt it. She will likely continue fulfilling her NBC commitments. If the league responds with discipline, it risks backlash. If it retreats, it risks appearing inconsistent. Either way, this is a pivotal moment. If I were advising Clark, I would encourage professionalism and clarity. Make it clear she is committed to both her team and her media responsibilities. Escalation helps no one. Public warfare would only damage the sport. At the same time, the league's leadership must demonstrate that it understands modern sports economics. Today's athletes are brands. Media presence is not a distraction, it's part of growth. You elevate your stars. You don't restrict them unnecessarily. Calling for resignations and revolts may feel emotionally satisfying. But sustainable progress comes from negotiation and smart leadership, not chaos. This warning, whether justified or not, has become symbolic. It represents a tension between traditional league control and the evolving athlete-driven media era. The WNBA now faces a defining choice: adapt to the modern landscape and embrace its biggest stars' influence or risk alienating fans and future talent. The league cannot afford a war with its own audience. So where do you stand? Is this a legitimate contractual concern, or is it being handled poorly? However this unfolds, it will shape the future of the league.